Hi, this is my 1997 Toyota Prado 95. It's a 3.4 V6 automatic. It's never featured on this channel before, but I have had this Prado for 2 years. I've done about 50,000 kilometers, so I know this car inside out, and you're going to start seeing more of this Prado on this channel. And what we're doing in this video is we're going to change the suspension. Still has the stock suspension. Everything is standard on this Prado apart from the roof rack. And we're going to swap out the suspension for tough dog suspension tomorrow, or I'm going to send it in to have it done. So now we're going to take a bunch of measurements to see what the stock suspension looks like before we swap out the stock suspension for the tough dog suspension. So I'm going to measure the droop on all four corners. I'm going to measure the distance between the bump stops and the chassis, and I'm going to hook up the caravan and see how much it sags just with the trailer hitched. And then tomorrow, after we get it back, we'll do the same measurements and see what difference the aftermarket suspension makes. We're also going to fit airbags, Air Max airbags in the back, and we'll do a video on that separately. So let's lift up the Prado and do some measurements. So this is the left front wheel, and we've got about 12 centimeters, so 120 millimeters. Okay, this is the right front, and it's a little bit more than 12. So now we're on the right hand side rear, it's also 12. The bike's in the way, and this is pretty much also 120 millimeters or 12 centimeters. So at least the car is level, but I do know that if you load the car, it sags quite a bit in the rear. Okay, so all four corners has the same height. There's a screw in there. Crap. Anyways, all four corners are the same height. Next, we're going to look at the bump stops. Another reason why I have been playing around with the idea of fitting aftermarket suspension is my brother, you can check out his channel, the Safari Expert, has exactly the same Prado, same year, but a diesel, and his is at least 5 centimeters or 2 inches taller than mine, and his looks more standard than this one. So there's a possibility that these springs have sagged over time. I'm not sure, we'll see, but his just looks much better than this one. Okay, so you can see there's the bump stop, and I can almost just get my finger in there. Now I'm gonna sway the car, and the front's not that bad, but it does close up that gap there. I'm going to try to stick my finger again in there. You can see it doesn't go all the way through. And that's the left front. You can see the bump stop right there. That's the gap we're looking for. And I'm going to push on the car from the side and see how much it closes. So check that. I'm just going to get on the Okay, so I couldn't see, but you could, and we're going to measure that again after we've changed the suspension. Okay, so next we're going to measure the droop, and I don't think I'm going to do it in all four corners. They're all the same height at the moment, so we're just going to do one in the front, so right front and right rear, and then we can compare the droop with the tough dog suspension. So droop is basically so if you lift up the car with the wheel in the air, so it's fully extended, you take a measurement anywhere on the body, the distance, the wheel to the body, and then you put the car down on its own weight and take the measurement again. And that change is the droop. So that is basically how far the suspension can extend from the normal position just with the wheels on the ground, and that helps with road holding. So if you go through a bump or a hole in the road, the suspension obviously extends, and if you go past your droop, I mean the maximum droop, then the wheel is in the air and there's no grip. So you need that droop, and we're going to measure that with the new suspension when I get the Prado back, but let's see what the stock suspension's droop is at the moment. Okay, with the wheel off the ground, we can now measure the same distance, and you can see there that's I'd say 22 centimeters or 220 millimeters. So our droop then is 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters. Now we'll do the same in the right rear. Okay, so with the wheel off the ground, let's measure this. Okay, that's interesting because it now reads 110. How is that possible that it's less than with the wheel on the ground? Do you know how it is possible? I lifted up the axle, so obviously the wheel is going to be closer. So let's find another point. Okay, let's go again. This time we're lifting the rear of the car. So you should see the wheels drooping down now. Okay, I think it's maxed out. The shock, but that's 240, so we've lifted 12 centimeters, but our jack is maxed out there. Not cool. And now for the last test, we're going to see how much the Prado's rear end sags when we hitch the caravan. So I think I'm going to take the measurement here, 24.5 centimeters. Now let's see when we hitch it. Okay, that's the wheel in the air. We'll take another measurement, and that is 19.5 centimeters. So we've dropped 5 centimeters or 50 millimeters. That's the sag at the bottom or at the rear just by hitching the caravan. I don't think that's too bad, but with the coils, that's quite, it's lost its firmness. I'm pretty sure it's gonna hit the bump stops or it's gonna bottom out. So we'll see what difference it makes. And also I want to see what the Air Max air suspension or that airbags does when you pump it up. So that'll be a separate video. Okay, so that's it for the before settings. I've measured it on a level surface. The ride height is 12 centimeters all the way around from the top of the tire to the bottom of the wheel arch. We'll measure that with the new Tough Dog suspension after we've received it back. Then the sag at the back with the caravan hitched, that was 5 centimeters. And then the droop, the left front corner, 10 centimeters. So we'll see what difference the Tough Dog suspension makes. And we'll also then test the airbags, the Air Max airbags in the rear in a separate video. So if you have any questions on the suspension or on the Prado in general, let me know in the comments and I'll answer you there. And you're going to see much more of this Prado and the caravan in upcoming videos. Cheers!